They came for poker and bourbon. She came with binoculars, fake bylaws, and a militia in pastel vests. One cabin, 6 veterans, in a suburban war that started with a newsletter and nearly ended in gunfire. If you think that sounds like some kind of wild Netflix special, you're not even close. This is how an HOA declared war on me and lost hard. Let me paint you a picture. I spent most of my adult life chasing trouble Army Special Forces a couple of decades in all over you name it. When I finally bought out, all I wanted was 5 acres of hardwood forest tucked deep in the Appalachian just shy of the Tennessee-North Carolina border. No neighbors, no traffic, no damned HOA bylaws about mailbox height or tin roof colors. Just a gravel drive, a log cabin I built with my own hands, and the sound of coyotes at night. If you're wondering, no, I don't regret a thing. The cabin's not fancy. Solar on the roof, well, water propane backup, and a cellar big enough for a biblical flood. On paper, I'm a consultant, which mostly means I teach folks how to handle themselves, stay safe, and protect what's theirs. Most days I keep to myself, but once a month that cabin lights up. Old friends come in, all vets. We call it the gathering. Cigars, bourbon, poker chips, some meat on the grill, a lot of stories, some true, some not, but all worth telling. We got Freddie, used to be a deputy marshal. Milo, my spotter from Baghdad, he's a medic now out in Utah. Ben, old sergeant major, tough as nails. Isaac, ex-combat doc turned therapist. Jason, our lawyer. And Luis, border recon, now fighting wildfires in the Smokies. 6 of us, sometimes loud, always loyal. Most times it's just us laughing, eating, griping about our knees or our backs. Sometimes we cry. Always we look out for each other. It was perfect. I paid good money for that piece, and for a long time nobody bothered me. But see, the mountain started changing. 10 years back, some developer slapped a name on a hillside forest peak and filled it with look-alike faux cabins, shiny SUVs, and folks who'd never chopped wood in their lives. I didn't care. My land was surveyed, deeded, and legally out of their reach. Or so I thought. Then came Karen Bell. Yeah, the name fits. Mid-50s, platinum bob, looked like she jogged in pearls. Ran the Forest Peak HOA like it was her own little country. First it was the side eyes from her Lexus as she drove past the trail to my place. Then the binoculars. She'd park at the end of the cul-de-sac where their pavement ends, my private gravel starts, and stare through the trees like she was looking for enemy movement. It started as a joke. Milo rolls up in a Jeep with out-of-state plates, overland gear everywhere. Karen catches a glimpse and suddenly decides my land's home to a militia. Isaac brings a trauma kit that, if you're squinting and have a vivid imagination, looks like it could hide a rifle. Jason makes a satellite call for work, and boom, now we're a paramilitary cell. To Karen, we were plotting war. Reality, we were playing cards and trying not to burn the venison. An old-timer named Carl flagged me down one morning. Travis, that lady from Forest Peak asked if I'd seen you running drills out here. Drills, you hear me? Carl just grinned and shook his head. I figured, what's the harm, she'll move on, maybe accuse the squirrels of espionage next. But then Forest Peak's HOA newsletter drops a community safety alert, full page, written by Karen. Talks about unregistered non-resident activity and increased vigilance. Didn't mention my name, but there's a map with a big red circle right over my ridge. Freddie calls up howling. You're famous now, brother. I want hazard pay for poker night. I should have seen it as a warning, but honestly I just laughed. Meanwhile, Karen's over there forming a security task force. 3 volunteers: Pete, retired mall cop with an ego; Joel, who once tackled a skateboarder and never got over it; Brett, her teenage nephew, couldn't grow a mustache if you spotted him 5 years. They called themselves Guardians. I called it Saturday Night Live. It got real when the county clerk called. Travis, heads up, someone from Forest Peak tried to file a request to amend your zoning overlay. My deed's bulletproof, so I wasn't worried, but the move itself. That was different. This was legal maneuvering, not just paranoia. Sure enough, Karen starts tagging neighbors online, warning about men in tactical gear, out-of-state vehicles, meaning us. Tony at the outdoor shop in town calls, "Hey Travis, you know a lady named Karen Bell? She just bought bear mace and 4 camo vests, 1 pink." I nearly spit coffee. It was going from neighborhood gossip to real movement. Forest Peak officially formed a security task force, printed it up like government orders. Karen starts handing out pamphlets, how to spot military posture, unusual vehicles, campfire smoke out of season. It was 5 pages long with a color-coded threat level chart like the old airport ones. My area orange. Here's where it gets wild. One night, Joel, the warehouse guy, quits the HOA and hands me a bombshell Karen-forged meeting minutes, faked board member signatures, all to justify surveillance of Parcel 48, my land. Board members didn't sign a thing. One was in hospice, another moved to Florida. Karen faked them all. Not some bored neighbor, a full-blown manipulator. Next, she escalates. Sheriff's department gets involved when her task force starts running patrols wearing homemade vests, armed sometimes with real guns. They sneak onto my land, stake out the tree line, start barking orders. You are surrounded. Drop your weapons. I'm just manning the grill. I can't make this up. The six of us trained calm and more amused than scared until Brett the kid stumbles and Luis disarms him clean. Karen screaming, Pete's waving an AR around. Then blue lights tear through the woods. Sheriff Callahan himself steps out. Travis, what in God's name? I nod toward the suburban warriors. Karen shrieking about threats, radios, danger. Sheriff just blinks. Ma'am, you just trespassed with weapons. That's a felony. My lawyer Jason hands over video, GPS logs, even Milo's camera footage from the fence line. Brett the kid. He had a live round. Sheriff cuffs the whole task force. Karen's still shouting about jurisdiction. You ever see someone lose power in real time? Karen did. But she didn't back down. In the interview room, she ranted unregulated land outsiders, war feasts at midnight. Sheriff lays down the evidence. Ma'am, this isn't protection. This is criminal trespass, intimidation, and brandishing. Jason flips through Karen's fake HOA minutes. You crossed a locked gate, armed, claiming HOA authority where you have none. She just glared. You people think you're above everyone because you have guns, titles, but she's the one wearing a vest in the woods at midnight. When the DA takes the case, Karen cracks. Kind of. The next morning, I find a dead songbird in a mailbox stuffed. You won the first round, but you're not safe. We see everything. No return address. Just that threat. Didn't flinch. Just burned the box, called the sheriff, and upped the security. Jason and Isaac dig deeper. Turns out Karen forged an entire HOA resolution. Faked signatures, including from a guy who'd been dead 6 months. Emails show she'd been working with a real estate firm to neutralize my ridge for new development. My land was just a pawn in her plan to expand the neighborhood and sell high-priced homes. She even had a map with a road sketch straight through my cabin. With all that we took the fight to her filed suits for malicious prosecution, fraud, harassment. Karen doubled down. Sued me in federal court, claimed I was running a paramilitary camp. She dragged in a security expert credentials as fake as her meeting notes. Jason exposed him on the stand, diploma, mill degree, phony contracts. Judge threw out her case and referred her for fraud. It wasn't over. The feds stepped in, ATF, FBI, U.S. attorney. Karen's task force broke laws across the board: fraud, forgery, armed, trespass, conspiracy, intimidation. She'd emailed a fringe group for templates on removing threats. Federal indictment landed on her desk and her guardians. HOA board imploded, half the neighbors lawyered up, the rest demanded resignations. When the trial came, Karen looked like a shadow of herself. Power suit gone, just a plain sweater and eyes full of regret, or maybe just fear of prison. The jury didn't take long. 5 felony counts: criminal trespass, forgery, conspiracy, intimidation, and abuse of authority. She got 12 years. No parole for 7. Her crew got less. The kid did juvie. His folks moved out. The HOA gone. Assets frozen. Neighborhood run by a court-appointed receiver. Now my land is quieter than ever. New gate cameras, a sign that reads private property. We play poker. Without a warrant, you're not invited. We still gather 6 old friends, 1 grill, no drama. Jason brings a Karen-proof contract in Comic Sans just for laughs. We toast to peace, freedom, and dumbasses who underestimate the quiet ones. So let me ask you, where's the line between protecting your community and crossing into madness? When does authority become obsession? Drop a comment. Have you ever had to stand your ground against someone like Karen? Or maybe you've seen power get out of hand in your own backyard. Tell me what you'd have done. Hell, tell me if I missed a trick. I'll be here keeping an eye on the ridge just in case the next self-appointed sheriff rolls up with binoculars and a dream.